As Florida's skies darkened in 1997, 4 harbingers rode forth from the storm. Born from El Niño's fury, they would unleash catastrophe across central Florida in a cascade of chaos that rewrote the record books. Deluge, tornado, Scorch, Inferno, the 4 horsemen of climate chaos. March 1997, the first horseman arrives with no fanfare. For the next 12 months, El Niño dumps over 100 inches of rain on Orlando. The deluge doesn't just flood, it feeds explosive growth that will become fuel for catastrophe. February 22, 1998. The second horseman strikes in darkness. 7 tornadoes tear through central Florida. 42 dead, 260 injured, 3,000 structures destroyed. Florida's deadliest tornado outbreak in a single night. April 1998. The third horseman arrives with fire in his eyes. Record-shattering heat. 100 degrees for 5 consecutive days. Lake levels drop an inch per day from evaporation. Lush vegetation becomes straw. The landscape transforms into a tinderbox. May 1998. The fourth horseman ignites the tinderbox. 2,300 wildfires. 500,000 acres consumed. 193 injuries. Entire Flagler County evacuated. The largest firefighter mobilization in U.S. history. California veterans call it the worst they've ever seen. 3 helicopter crew, killed returning home. The only deaths in an inferno that burned across every county in Florida. The 4 horsemen rode on. Their work complete. 100 inches of rain. 42 dead in a single night. Records shattered across the state. 500,000 acres consumed. They left behind a central Florida transformed forever, and a warning of what climate chaos can unleash. What caused this cascade of disasters? The answer lies in the Pacific Ocean, thousands of miles from Florida. This animation shows sea surface temperatures from January 1997 through May 1998. Watch the equatorial Pacific. That band of red and magenta, temperatures up to 3 degrees Celsius above normal, that's El Niño. El Niño occurs when trade winds weaken, allowing warm water to pool across the eastern Pacific. This shifts global weather patterns, sending moisture-laden storms toward Florida while creating drought conditions elsewhere. The 1997-98 El Niño remains the strongest on record, a climate event so powerful it rewrote atmospheric circulation worldwide. For central Florida, it became the engine of catastrophe. In the segments ahead, we'll trace El Niño's fingerprints on each of the 4 horsemen. From the relentless rain of March 1997 through the tornado outbreak of February 1998, the record heat of June, and finally, the inferno of summer. Each disaster, connected. Each horseman, summoned by the same ocean anomaly you're watching now. 11:51 p.m., February 22, 1998. The only photograph of the tornadoes, captured from Windermere, backlit by lightning. A killer emerging from darkness. 3 supercell lines developed across central Florida. The northern storm spawned an F2. The center and southern cells, both F3 tornadoes. Death rode the midnight sky. El Niño didn't just bring rain, it built a fuel bomb. When the spark came, Florida burned like never before. This is the first horseman's fingerprint. 365 days of El Niño rainfall. Each pixel represents a radar cell. The deep purple and magenta, over 90 inches of rain. That white core, 99.8 inches. Nearly double the normal annual rainfall in a single year. The deluge didn't just flood central Florida. It saturated the earth, recharged aquifers, and fed explosive vegetation growth. Downtown Orlando, the bullseye. Neighborhood by neighborhood, the numbers tell the story. 80 inches, 85, 90. Some areas exceeded 95 inches, while a normal year brings just 50. Orlando became ground zero for the wettest year on record. Everyone remembers 2023's brutal heat, but 1998 was far worse, sustained, relentless, and without mercy. 1998 wasn't one disaster. It was a chain reaction, each horseman creating conditions for the next to strike. After 1998, Florida learned its lesson. Aggressive controlled burns became the new strategy, fighting fire with fire. 3 supercell lines, 7 tornadoes, 2.5 hours of terror. Amid the devastation, one miracle: 18-month-old Jonathan Waldick, placed safely in a tree by the tornado that destroyed his home. In the wreckage, families searched for what remained, and miracles were found among the ruins. The fourth horseman didn't strike once. He struck everywhere. From the Panhandle to the Keys, named fires consumed the state. Rodeo Road, 39,000 acres. Lafayette Road, 61,500 acres. Farmton Fire, 45,800 acres. Each red marker, a separate inferno. Each name, a community fighting for survival. Nearly 500,000 acres burned across Florida. A firestorm unlike anything the state had ever seen. The fourth horseman left nothing untouched. Early fires begin May 6th. By mid-May, short bursts escalate. June 10th, the ramp-up begins. June 18th, state of emergency declared. June 20th to 30th, the peak. Maximum sustained fire growth. This is how it happened. One horseman created the conditions for the next. Deluge fed the growth. Scorch dried the fuel. Tornado struck in darkness. Inferno consumed what remained. 4 disasters, 1 catastrophic chain. It is just before 11 o'clock on the night of February 22nd, 1998. Central Florida sleeps beneath a violent sky. What unfolds over the next 2.5 hours will become one of the deadliest tornado outbreaks in Florida history. On this map, the red lines trace the paths of F3 tornadoes, the killers, winds exceeding 158 miles per hour. The yellow lines mark F2 tornadoes, still devastating at 113 to 157 miles per hour. The blue and green markers show the weaker F1 and F0 touchdowns that bracketed the main outbreak. Each red circle represents a location where someone died that night. The number inside tells you how many. The larger the circle, the greater the loss. In total, 42 people, sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, grandparents, would not see the sunrise. The orange dots mark sites of major damage where, by some margin of luck or geography, no one perished. And that single green star marks a miracle. An 18-month-old child, lifted into the sky inside his mattress, found 40 minutes later in the branches of an oak tree. Alive. 7 major tornadoes would touch down in roughly 90 minutes. They moved from southwest to northeast, as if following some terrible choreography. The first death came at 10:55 p.m. in Volusia County. The last, just after 1 in the morning in Osceola. What you are about to see is the geographic fingerprint of that night.